Who else? What do you got? Tomas.
Hey Tiago, how you doing?
Good, really good.
Well, first, thank you for the takeaways of the knowledge that you brought, the fluidity of the apps on how this is also stepping, how you are using Obsidian right now. It's kind of, for me, resonated like stepping outside of your comfort zone. So that's a cool framework.
Totally. That's another good reason to do it. That alone, right?
Yeah.
I noticed this morning I was getting frustrated. There was so much friction. I was like, I don't know any of the shortcuts. I was doing things in a way like I would have done them in Evernote for like half an hour and then discovering there was a much faster way. And like and then you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I, know about this? But then I realized, oh, this is actually putting me back in that beginner's mind, of like being a beginner once again and not knowing how to do things, which is valuable in its own way.
Yeah, and it's kind of learning a new language itself.
It is. It very much is. Yeah, which then challenges things. Like I realized, in fact, one of my notes here, this may be good. One of my notes here that I started is learning Obsidian. So these are just lessons that I learned basically this morning.
Mhm.
For example, I went and downloaded the web clipper and discovered that there were a few different options. And
Mhm.
this is the one that I decided to use. I realized, oh, pasting from one to the other in plain text yields much better results. But then I realized there's an exception. There's a couple exceptions if you need to preserve the formatting or if you want to preserve the paragraph break. So, like, this is the kind of lessons no one can teach you. Like, even if someone tried to teach this to me, I'd be like, what? You may be thinking this now. What are you talking about? That doesn't even make like what do you mean? It's only by experience that you learn this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and experimenting, and I think, yeah, it may help you. I don't know if you came across the refactor note plugin.
Mm.
That might be a help. Is you start writing, and from inside the node, you can create another node just from a shortcut.
Oh, nice. So let me capture that. Refactored notes plugin.
Yes,
All
can
right,
be
let's check it out.
cool. Okay, so my question is more kind of a meta question. It's how can I become part of Forte Labs team?
Yeah, great one. Say more. Why is that interesting to you?
Yeah, first of all, it's I like the way that the all the frameworks and all the knowledge that from you itself and from the building a second brain and the para and all the books is structured in my mind, so I see that I can be of help and of value for the team, and also to have the chance to work side by side with you. It's just sort of such a privilege with to have this time with you. So it's kind of okay. And I also have some kind of some projects that I think that can be an upgrade to the team.
Awesome. Yeah, those are great motivations. Great motivations. Well, one thing that comes to mind is we're launching the foundation course in Spanish. Maria is actually leading that. So if you wanted to get involved, I mean, now, that would be a great way to jump in. There's all sorts of needs related to that. From, we're using AI to generate to translate the videos. So there's some like reviewing it to make sure it's not making too many mistakes. There's web pages to create, there's marketing to do, there's social media accounts to, promote it to, etc. But generally, this is actually something that I've been thinking about a long time. Is the way I think of it is it's sort of like there's a market being created for second brains or PKM that is huge. Like that's the result of, my books and other people's books and all the YouTubers and all the creators. They're creating this demand for people that want the results that are promised, but don't necessarily want to take a 5 week cohort-based course or even read a book, right? So there's a demand for everything, consultants, teachers, coaches, like implement it for me, contractors, content creators, all that kind of stuff. And then there's our tiny team, which cannot afford, like, we're really not set up to be a service provider, right? We're a very small team that is really just designed to create content and courses. And so I'm trying to connect to those two, trying to connect people, say, like all of you, in the membership, in our community more broadly, with the huge market that's being created. We had planned on running a facilitator training program in like July, August, and September. We've just decided to postpone that. We've just decided to postpone it because we just didn't have the bandwidth. We're also moving to Mexico as a family in August. That was largely the reason. We kind of made a pretty, not impromptu, but kind of unexpected decision to move this summer instead of next summer. And so we just didn't have the bandwidth to run what is essentially like a 12-week cohort. But next year, I'm planning on it. Next year, I'm planning on it. So I would say just stay in the loop, stay part of the community like you're doing here. We probably won't even open up applications for that to the public. It'll just be people on these calls, people in the membership on Circle, people that we already know, honestly, and have already interacted with are going to be the first people to be invited to that. So if any of you are interested in that, and when I say facilitator program, it's facilitator very widely defined. Like I think some people, are big extroverts. They want to be on stage and do public speaking. There's actually a lot of public speaking gigs available. I turn them down all the time. Maybe you're like a hardcore software developer and you want to like go into organizations and design like a custom implementation of their, whatever knowledge management app. That too. Maybe you're a coach and you want to do, coaching by the hour. Like there's a lot of models that can work. What we're trying to do is just basically be able to certify and say this person is legit. They know what they're talking about. They are trusted by us. They know, like we're gonna have like some practicums and some like sort of milestones and te even like tests, like teaching tests that you have to pass, so that we can essentially send you leads. And then there's probably going to be some sort of like licensing fee or certification fee that you pay to fund all the work and support that we're going to be doing on our end. So unfortunately, I can't announce that right now or in the next few months, but it is something we're working on and have on the horizon. So thank you.